A Mexican woman, right before being executed, said this to her prosecutors: "I would do the same again if I was so provoked." But why would she say that? If you guys have not been here before, hi, my name is Nino, and welcome to the West Side Story. With it being Latino History Month, I figured that I should do a series of videos that would focus on Latino history here in California and in other states. And I do apologize for my voice. I've been under the weather for the past week. But let's talk about the woman that made that statement. Vámonos. So in the state of California, there's only ever been one woman that has been unalived by hanging. And that woman was Josefa Segovia. This happened up in Northern California in Downeyville on July 5th, 1851. So 1851 was during the California Gold Rush. So in Downeyville, it was primarily a bunch of miners living there. On July 4th, a lot of the town was out celebrating Independence Day, rightfully so. A group of miners were headed back home walking down the street when one guy was stumbling across people's front doorsteps. That guy's name was Frederick Cannon. It was reported that Cannon accidentally burst through Josefa Segovia's front door. Altercation happened between the two, and I think it's kind of safe to say we kind of know what happened. Now, Josefa, or Juanita as she was most commonly known as, she lived with a man named Jose Loaiza. Now, it's not clear if that was her husband or her boyfriend, but they were a couple and they did live together. He was a gambling man, so he was not home when this happened. He was reportedly out at the saloon dealing cards to other guys that were out still having a good time. Now, the following morning, Cannon returns to Juanita and Jose's house. Now, some reports say that he went over to apologize, and others say that he went back to finish what he wasn't able to the night before. A fight breaks out between Cannon and the couple, and this is where Juanita grabs a knife and goes Mike Myers on Cannon. Cannon stumbles out of the house and ends up dying there on the street. The townsfolk see this and they're pissed. The Euro-Americans are pissed. So what do? A mob of them go to the house and yank Juanita outside and drag her through the streets. Over the next couple of hours, a scaffold is erected over the river and a makeshift trial is underway. And I say makeshift because these guys were out for blood. The local attorney, whose name was Mr. Thayer, was the only person trying to defend her. I mean, Jose couldn't because he was beat up. Mr. Thayer was the only person trying to stop what was going on and try to have a real trial for Juanita. Unfortunately, the townspeople were not having it. They told Mr. Thayer either stay and get unalived or leave town. So he ran out. During the makeshift trial, Juanita stood there, told her side of the story, and this is when she said, "I would do the same again if I was so provoked." She then proceeded to wrap the noose around her neck, looked at the men, and said, "Adios, señores," and jumped. There is a plaque there in Downeyville in remembrance of Josefa Segovia. And that's the story of the only woman in California that's ever been executed by being hung.